Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Blonde Fox, and today we're going to continue playing some more Genshin Impact. So last time we left off, we beat Child at the Golden House, and we won and stopped him, even though the Exuvia wasn't actually, it didn't have the Gnosis in it or anything, it was all fake. But he revived the Lord of the Vortex, or whatever, basically the god that Morax defeated many thousands of years ago during the war. And so now we're teaming up with the Adepti and the Qixing and basically everyone there to take it down. I do apologize again for ending the episode the way I did last episode, but I really didn't have a choice. It was going to go on too long possibly and everything, so again, apologize for that. But without further ado, let's get right back into the action.
All able Millilith, with me! Let's go help too!
Okay, that guy... Actually, these are really weak. Wow. That was weird.
Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you? One wishes to witness.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave the episode off because, like I said, this is like one of the most epic things in my opinion. Like, they did so amazing. The cutscenes and everything are so cool in this area. Well, this mission and everything. However, like I said, I just felt if it went too long, I didn't know if people would be able to watch like because it's probably going to be like, if I put them together, it'd probably be like almost an hour-long video, and I didn't know if people would be willing to watch that. And I know some people only prefer watching shorter videos and everything, so again, I apologize. I know I keep apologizing, but you know, again, I try not to go against my own code in that aspect of basically ending videos off in the middle of missions, but again, I'll try to be more careful about it in the future. I didn't think the child battle would take so long. One more hit, there we go. Okay, where's the next guy gonna spawn?
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
Yeah, easier said than done, but okay.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward.
Ooh, Ningguang is pissed. You know, I'm glad she's a 4-star because we'll be able to get multiple of her. Her constellations are really good and everything. But I'm a little sad about it because it's just kind of like, she would have been an amazing 5-star because they could have really gone all out with her in my opinion.
The ancient gods attacking again! There are so many Fatui too! We can't look!
I'm trying, Paimon.
Not to say we can't hold them, children.
Come on, they should be. There we go.
Here, take this.
This is adeptal energy!
Thank you, Madam
Life in
Ping.
your body. It's like the time of Julian Karst! Wow! It's Madam Ping's shockwave! This Granny's really strong!
This is like the coolest battle ever in my opinion. I know it's a little boring because it's just going around fighting. But it's just like the whole ambience of it all. It's just so cool. They really went all out for this. And like I said, the cutscenes in this game are phenomenal. Whenever they do actually have cutscenes, they're so good. And it seems like you get more and more cutscenes the further in, because like Inazuma's gonna have a lot of cutscenes in it. It's just, it gets really good. They put so much work into this. It's really amazing for a free-to-play game, and I know it's a gacha game, so
I guard you against evil!
thank you, Ganyu.
Cast your fear of injury by the wayside and fight with all your might. I too did this during the Archon War. So this is what Ganyu's like in a fight.
But anyways, what I was saying, I know it's a gacha game, so...
Take my power and run as I do.
Oh, thank you, Zhao. Oh, thank you. Ooh, sweet. I'm not using stamina. Oh, no, I am. Oh, I'm not using... No, I'm not. I'm not using, like, any stamina. This is awesome. Anyways, I know it's a gacha game, so it's kind of like, you know, it isn't technically free to play in a sense. But it is. But it isn't. But it is. Okay, so there's no enemies spawning. I love this, being able to run with basically unlimited stamina. It's just draining really slowly. Fire! Aha.
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Ooh, this is going good. I just hit an electric enemy with an electric attack and it pretty much killed him. Sweet. Get him, Venti!
Think you can
Avenge
get
your
away?
gnosis.
Everybody stand back! Take cover!
Ah.
Let's play! Time for takeoff.
Get him, Venti.
One with my blade, from whence you came.
Oh, that was kind of a waste of a triangle there.
Fear that the god's power has reached its peak.
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
That's a good way of putting it.
Out of the way!
Okay, there we go. They're all done. Okay, these guys over here.
Think you can
I
get
love
away?
this, not having to worry about my stamina.
Here we go.
A touch of frost. Spirit blade.
Brace yourself.
Oop, dang it, I thought I had his already. Oh well.
Here we go.
Get him, Venti!
Time for takeoff.
This isn't good.
How do you get over here? Sneaky sneak. Where are you going? Why are you running?
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades!
There
Once
they
we
are.
finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
Big charge, big boom. How did she resist that?
Here we go.
I smacked her right in the face, too. 10 more seconds.
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber. What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great jeopardy.
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to your wishes.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small feat. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
We're all on the same side here.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
When there is discord between the Guardians and those they were meant to defend, harmony becomes very difficult to restore.
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
This is what we learned in the City of Freedom.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millilith. I have come to extend my thanks to the Adepti. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this day.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millilith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern ride.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. It must be hard being an Adeptus. Aww.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection, but it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti's power to solve every little niggling matter. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
They've listened to what the people have said, and they're trying to understand things from their perspective.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, Conqueror of Demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place beyond recognition. Fair enough. Away we shall, and return whence we came.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Chising will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh?
Yeah, the Adepti were quite reasonable in the end.
Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own, so Rex Lapis never showed up. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death, too? Paimon doesn't get it.
Should she have really been saying that in front of them?
Lead we have the Adepti-less rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshem Funeral Parlor.
Again, should she have really said that, you know, the whole thing about Rex Lapis' death and everything, and like, you know, in quotations, right in front of people who think he is dead? Probably not the smartest thing.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng funeral parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests.
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time like this could only mean more trouble. We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
Okie dokie to Northland Bank. I wonder if Child went back there after he set that thing loose. I'm sorry, but how could Zhongli not know what's going on? I'm sure that the entire harbor knew what was going on. It was pretty loud. And I mean, it wasn't that far out at sea, right? Yeah, it was just right out there in the Stone Forest area. Or not Stone Forest, the Stone Pillar, whatever that place is called. Dang it, I went on the wrong one. Oh, come on. I should have been able to make that. There you go, Venti. Pull yourself up. To the bank.
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And you! You're also one of the Harbingers?
Signora.
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
I still have time to take it back.
No, don't let her get to you. You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements, and our last battle at the Golden House was almost more than you could handle. So it might be best to keep things peaceful this time, seeing that 2 of the Harbingers are here.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Signora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on.
Zhongli tricked you? I understand Signora tricked you, but Zhongli tricked you?
So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
Agreement?
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee. For my promise is solid as stone.
How sanctimonious.
I mean, I did have my suspicions.
What? So you're the Lord of Chiao? No, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
As interesting as that is, why did you feign your death?
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky and all of Liyue goes into an uproar. about a disaster.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see, am I right?
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue together with the Adepti. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come, until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue.
So, were you satisfied with the finale?
Indeed I was. The Gnosis, which I had kept for so many years, suddenly seemed to have lost its meaning. That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory than I could have hoped for. Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even made efforts to understand the hearts of the people. Credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This despite the eavesdropping ears of her colleague, Child. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for joining me on this journey, Traveler. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that was the conduct of the Liyue Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark!
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo-Archon, Liyue, would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight?
You really embarrassed yourself this time.
Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Come, child.
Ah, fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
These are both, I think it's both the same question, but I'd like to know what the Cryo Archon offered you.
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a Gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it. My agreement with the Cryo Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
So I guess the Tsaritsa isn't as bad, I guess? I mean, because technically then she made the deal with him and kept her into the bargain and offered him something he found worthwhile, but... Okay, we gotta leave the bank, but in case there's more talking, this episode's already gone on way longer than I normally let it, so gonna end this part here. I know there's probably gonna be like 2 minutes of talking, then it's probably over, but anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, remember to like it, comment down below with your thoughts and opinions. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and remember to subscribe if you want to see more from me in the future. Until next time, see ya!